You're welcome to. I welcome you to this topic. In this lecture, we'll be looking at 4 different way of approaching how to include a border into our a document or text, how to encircle a text with a border, or even our images with a border. And also we'll look at links. We always say link is a website and website is a link. Without links, there will be no website, and without no website, there will be no link. Link is what we use to link our information together. We use it to link from website to website, from pages to pages, so that it will be easy for people to look around in our website. We also talk about lists. We have in a list, we have ordered and unordered list. We use it to list information. We also sometimes make use of table to list information, to list articles, to list subjects. We also look at what list and the codes and how we can present a list in our HTML. Remember, we are discussing only HTML in this section. The section that we will talk about all these things in details will be in CSS. CSS and HTML. We discuss CSS separately and bring 2 of them together. Now we also talk about horizontal separation, horizontal separator rule. You will use it to separate maybe page to page. Use it to separate post to post. In some blogs, when you see different posts on a page of a blog, you will see separating rules that separate each post together. That is where you see most of where you see this horizontal rule used. Now, to speak about the border, the code we use for border is this. This is the code we use for border. Look at the syntax and see how it is presented. This is the code we use for it. For links, we use these codes to link. We call it anchor tag refer, the link we want it to be, and the route where somebody will click for it to take us to this link. We also have an email link. We have a domain link, domain name link. We have a page link. That is the page in our website, and we have an image link. This as you see at the beginning is what we use to fake links. We can just put at this link at where you see www.http://www.facebook. We can put it to fake the email, just for it to fake the link, just for it to look as if it is a link. But when someone click on it, it will not take him to anywhere. We'll talk about list. This is the code. This is unordered list. This is ordered list. You will see when we go practically, you will understand what we are saying. We talk about horizontal separator rule. Is written like this. The code is this, but remember that the horizontal, for you to create a horizontal between 2 objects or 2 documents, it must be at the end of the first document. What I was saying to our design platform, in the previous we discussed about paragraph, block quotes, we told you that we use block quote to indent our character, or indent our sentences for it to stay out from the browsing edge. We'll also discuss about image source and how to place image in our body. Like we said, we will talk about links, or yes, we'll talk about the border first. We'll talk about the border, and talking about the border, we would say let us add a border to this image. Let us add a border to these images. All these images you see here doesn't have a border yet. We can add a border here and also add a border in this our sentences. In this article you see here, we can add a border so that the article will be in a container. Now to do this, we will say in our image, we can say this image should carry a border. You see where I am adding the border of this image. I don't want to add the border outside this image. The border is inside is one of the parameters that we want to include into the image. The image has a parameter border, so we say border is equals to 2 pixel solid black. Or solid, any color. We can put any color. You can put any color, but I want to use solid black. Remember our quotes. So at this point, what I want to do is that I will save so that you will see what we are trying to say. I have just placed a border in this image. Yes, and if I refresh, you see that the image has changed. We have a border around all the images. We now include it to each of them, and you see if I just copy this border and place it in each of the image. If I place it in each of the image, you see that it will have, when I save, you see that it will have a border. You see all of them has borders now. Now at this point, I can also place border in this. I can also place this thing in a container and add a border on it. To do this, we use let's leave about bordering a bit, putting a border in these sentences. When we get to our CSS design, that is where I think we will understand, because we want to discuss about border in detail in that CSS design. So I say I have given us how this our image can be encircled with a border, and you see the beauty of the image by looking at what we have here. Now we discuss about the lists. When we talk about lists, like what I told us in this area, that our code for list is ordered and unordered. Now But first, I think we should talk about the link, how to link our images. Okay, we'll talk about links before we talk about lists. And when we are talking about link, we talk about how we can link both the images and our text. I told us that link makes web and web makes link. Links is a web and web is a link. Now, for instance, let's us link this executive summary, so that whenever we click it, remember, before you link a subject, or you link image, or even you link a sentence to an object, it means that you must create that object first before you create the link. The object must be existing. For instance, a website has to exist before you can link executive summary, or you can link a domain name to it. A page must be existing before you can link an image to it. Remember, image sometimes are used as a descriptive object, that if somebody just take a look at the image, he knew, or the person will know what he is going to get in the detail. What the person will do when he just read the descriptive in maybe the index page, he click on it, it will take him direct to the page where the detail or the story were stored. Now, for instance, the story we are talking about could be stored in the same platform where your website, where all the files of your website are stored. For instance, if you look at this place, I created another document called our links. When you click on this our links, this is the platform where the links open. You see it, the header of the address, the title of this page is called our link.html. Now, for me to link to this our, you know how to create a document. So just create a document and place it in the same place you have your first document. And what we want to do is that we want to link from this document to this document. And I'm now telling you that this document, the address has our links.html, and that is where I want to link this our executive summary to. So for me to achieve this, I use what we call an anchor tag. The anchor tag is what I have shown you. It looks like this. Angle bracket A H R E F, which is the referral code. The refer code that will route us to where we want to go. Then I say that is equals to double quote the address of where we want to link it to. In this case now, the address where we want this executive summary to click to open when someone click on it is this, and this address is located in our file where our document is, and that is this. So if I have this document and I want to link to it, only what I need to do, the same thing you did when you were locating the image, click on the detail. You will see that the file name of this link is our link.html. So that is what I'll just take this address, our link.html. That is what I will write at this on this place. I will say our links.html. Now I will close my I'll close my linking, and then also put the closing tag, which is angle bracket /a close. Now when I save this thing, you see how this executive summary looks at this point. When I save it, this link will take effect of these codes that I have already put in this body tag, because I said that the text in all this body will be what? The text will be black, and the link itself will be this color. I can take it to be red. I can say let the link be red, and then the visited, when you visit the link, it become maybe blue. I will turn it to blue. When you visit the link, I'll turn it to blue. When you visit the link, let it be blue, and active link should be green. When that is mouse wants to click on it, it should turn to blue, or it should turn to green. Now when I save this thing and go back to my browser, click on it, you see that what I wrote has taken effect. Look at my cursor now, that this cursor is now activated. Whenever it got to this to tell you that it's linked, you see it's giving you a hand that it is now activated. Look at what I gave here. I put here, I said that the link now is, the link is what? The link is red, or the visited link is blue. RGB, green, sorry, but active link is red. Active link is blue. So for this to tell us that this thing is active, it is giving us a blue. Then when we click on it, you see what happened. You see active. You see it turned to blue. I mean it turned to green because it is active. You leave it, it will come back to this level. It will come back. It will take us to the link where we linked it to. Remember how we got to this. I told us before about where we are routing this thing to, where after clicking, where our click took us to is in that document that we have, our links.html. We can as well link our image. To link the image is just the same thing like this. It's just the same thing we did at this point, but what we are doing is that we might decide to link our image for it to, whenever somebody click on it, it will take us to the same web address. We are linking those images. See, whenever you are in a website, try to look at the index pages of that website. That is the home page. Some home page are dynamic, that every information are placed on the home page. If the home page are dynamic, you see, or static, sorry, the home page are static. And if it is static, it means that only what changes is maybe the pictures, the addresses in the home page, not the information. When you click in those addresses, they will take you to the main information, those static home pages. Now we want to use a picture in this our home page. We are taking this as the home page, which is the index page, and the other pages, we can say this one is another page which has a detail of what we want to, the story of this image. We can write a story about food and place it in another page and store it in our location, in our file location, which is, a folder, our file location, which is this. We store it here, and whenever our links or this image are clicked, it will take us to where those information. What I will say, let me link this image, which is the first image, that is this. I would write the same thing I have here to be angle brackets anchor href is equals to double quotes. Now this double quote will always carry the information of where either web address, either home page, either our pages, our image link, our articles, the details of where our articles are located, the address of where our articles are located. It can also link us to our email addresses. That is what you put in this double quote. Like now we want to link in the same address where we have our link. We want to use this image to link to the same address where we have this information, and we place the same address at this point, and whenever we click, we will close our link, then come down at this point and close the link. Then we save. You see that our image is now, when you see that this image is now showing that it is linked to somewhere, because look at this one, the cursor is not activated when we click on this. And look at this. Remember that we said that when this image is linked, it should take a color of blue, and when it is activated, when it is clicked, it will take a color of what? Of green. And that is what you are seeing at this point. This one is not activated. If you just place your cursor, it will tell you that this image is linked. You click on it, it will take us to where the information, where we link to the page we link it to. The same thing can be done on these two, and I am giving you the assignment to create two images and link the information. I can also link this, the whole body of this text to a link by saying, at this point I can say angle brackets anchor tag href is equals to, maybe I can link it to external web page. I can say let's link it to Twitter, and we will say http external page http www.twitter.com. we close our, then come anywhere, in any place we want the link to end, we can say let it end here, and we close our link at this point by using a closing tag. Then we save. When you go back and click on your website, when you see the color has been linked to somewhere, the color is changed, telling you that this thing is a link. I hope you understand. This color shows you that this is a link. Then when you click on it, it will take you to Twitter. Look at the web address. If we have a network in our computer, you see that this link will open a Twitter website. That is all about linking. Then we discuss about lists. List is what we use to list maybe an object into a row or a column. I told you that we use this list, or that table. We also discuss about table, but that should be in another video. We use lists to place objects or place our articles or images in a row or in a column. We will go in detail about lists when we will be discussing about CSS, because we have a work to do with the CSS. It's when we will discuss with when we teach about CSS. That is when you will also learn about divisions. You will also learn about header. You also learn about sidebar. You also learn about navigation bar, the footer, and everything in our website. But for now, we are just concentrating on using HTML to implement whatever we want to do, because there will be a time when you start working with CMS application softwares or CMS applications on internet. You might not have access to use CSS to implement your anything you want to implement in the website. You need to use a HTML codes, that is inline HTML code, to implement what you are doing. And that is why I am taking time to teach us how to do all these things in HTML. It's very, very necessary. So for us to place a list, I told us that we use our list is, we have ordered list, and this is an unordered list and ordered list. The difference is that the first one, we use a point. I'll show you where this thing is in our word processing, in our Microsoft Word. You close this, then you close ordered list. Now this, what I am showing you here, let's find where it is in our, look at this in this paragraph. If you look at this layer, if you look at this two layer, this place you see here is using a point. For instance, let's say we want to order this, we want to create an ordered list. It uses a point to indicate the list. Look at this now. It uses a point to indicate, but ordered list uses numbers. This uses a bullet. Look at it. It uses a bullet to indicate the list. It starts a bullet list. This will start a numbering list. And this, you see, all the list has changed to numbers. That is the difference between ordered and unordered list. So going back to our design, to implement this, we want to take this thing you see here to maybe our image, and you see how the image will be orderly maybe represented in a row. I will say the first image, or let me take out these names. Let me arrange these names in a list so that you will understand it better. Let me arrange this name in a list. I will also arrange the image if you want also to see it, but this is a name that I want to place in a list so that you will understand what we are trying to see in a better way, because normally in our website names are always placed in a list. So for me to place these names in a list, I will say let it be ordered list. I will write the ordered and unordered. I will say let it be unordered list first. I will say first the name should be, I will first of all place UL and then close my then I'll place a list, the list itself, and close it after this. Then place another one. This is the same way we create a table. You will learn that in the next video. And close this and open another one. Then I'll close it after this Davidson. Now we have unordered list. I will also duplicate this thing to get ordered list so that we will deal with what we want to, achieve what we want to do in the same before we go back and click. Now I can say line break, sorry, for it to look nice. I will say line break. Then I'll place and change this. See what I am doing? I'm only changing this U to O for it to be ordered, and also change the closing. I only change one subject, one alphabet, which is the alphabet that differentiates the ordered and unordered. When I save and go back to my browser, you see what we see the list we are talking about. This is first list. What happened here? We did not close this one, and that should be the reason why it is showing us that it is not well arranged. That is Jude. Jude should come to where others are. Yes, we did not open, no opening on Jude. We did not open so we'll go back here, and also the Jude, let it come here. For Jude, we didn't close it, we did not open. Say LA. If you go back and click, now they are showing the same thing, but I am having something that is displaying under, which is not supposed to be. Okay, sorry, I want to remove this. I want to remove that. I just want my design to look I've gotten what I want. So if you look at this, the line break is too much. Let me reduce it. The line break is too much. Let me reduce it. I can also use it in a paragraph. I can also place it. See, we are achieving something in this website. Small, we're achieving something. I have linked to another web page which we can easily put together, link to different pages, and you see our website doing the same thing like a full website. I gave you an assignment to link this thing together and also create more lists. Now, if you can see that this list is only in a row, it's not in a column. It's in a row. We are looking at it that we have a list that is placed in a row. When we will discuss about CSS, we'll talk about placing a link in a column. We'll talk about placing a link in a column. Now we have known how to place a list. We have learned how to put a border in our images. We have learned how to put a link, how to add links in our website. We have also, I can also add links to this. I can also add links to these names if I want. And to add it, I will just say this first link list is anchor HRE. Look at the syntax very well before you start making a mistake. If I write anchor, I shift, I will create a space before writing href, then it's equals to whatever I want it to be. I'll create a dummy with @. Will give me a dummy that if I click it, it will show that it is a link, but if I click it, it will not take us to anywhere. That means it's a dummy link. Then I will close the link. Also, what happened here? Did I delete anything? This Jude Davidson has to close here, which is not supposed to be. It has to close here. It's not supposed to be to close. Now I will also copy these things. And place it in the order. I place it here. I place this one here. I place it all of them into all of them. I say I created a dummy and also close all of them. And also close all of them. Sorry. I'll close this one. I'll close it before the list. Then when I save and go to our browser and refresh, you see that all of them are linked, but they are dummy. They're not leading us. When you click, it's not leading us to anywhere. I told you that I will create it to become a dummy. It's not leading us to anywhere until you add the address here. Until you add the address at this point, that is only when you can take you to wherever you want it to be. Now that is that on our list. Then we discuss about the horizontal separator. I told us that the horizontal separator uses HR to indicate the horizontal separator. Now let's say for instance that we want to separate this text. We remove this line break and say we want to separate this text. Look at what we have now. When we remove it, we have this. It looks like this. But we want to separate this text with a horizontal line break, with a horizontal maybe a separator rule, which can be a horizontal line or vertical. Now we want to make sure that this thing is separated from these images. So what we do, we come at this end of the images and say let it have HR, let it have HREF, I mean HR. Then we'll go back, and there is a very simple thing. You see the separator has, you see that horizontal line has separated everything we have here. There is a separator that has separated whatever we, and you can look at it like this, that we have drawn a separating line. This separator can also be in a part, we can place it, it has a parameter of width, which can either be in a percentage or pixels. It also has a color. We can also change the color to any type we want, and to do this we will put the color, inside, I mean the attributes to be the parameters. We can put it to be here. We can say that the width is equals to, the width is equals to 100%. That means it will sketch with the browser. The width is equals to 100%. Then we also say that the color, we can also say that the color is equals to, the color is equals to either red. We can say that the color is equals to red or anything. Let it be red, and also say that we say the color, the width, we can just leave it at that. We can also say this. We can also talk about the size, as in the HR size can also be shaded. You can say the size can be shaded or unshaded. We want to use it to be unshaded or shaded. However you want it to be, you can use it, you can make it for people. When you say shaded, the line will be visible, but if you leave it without putting anything, if you leave it without putting any you see, the line goes with the browser because it's 100%. It's 100% the information in the, so it goes with the browser. You see, as you sketch the browser, the line goes with it. So that is the beauty of our I have to remove this thing down because I am seeing something here which is not supposed, so I have to remove it. Now if I can say let it be unshaded. I can say let it be unshaded. HR size, I can say size is equals to unshaded. Is equals to unshaded. Unshaded. To be shade. Let it be on shade. That is the syntax. Say on shade, and I go back and click. You see, it's not, it has reduced to what it were, because we place it to be unshaded. You can also say let it be hidden. You can also hide it, whatever you want. You can also hide it if you want. It can also be hidden so that people will not see it, but it is existing, but no one is seeing it on your. Now that is that about. You can as well place this thing that you have here in different points. You can place it at this point. You can place it at this point. You can place it at this point, wherever you want it be, just to make out something in what. Sorry, we did not close it. It has to be closed. All of them has to be. We did not open it. HR has to be closed. That is why you see all these things. So you see, we have different. It has a different levels. So that is it. That is all about. You see, we're making something out of our website. Don't worry. You will see a full design website when we go to CSS. This one is just the tip of the iceberg. Now this is the end of this video. Then in the next video we'll be talking about how to present a table, how to draw a table in the websites. So you also need to watch the next video. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next.